My name is Mia. For those of you who are just joining us, I am the co-host for The Black Table. Hello, Claudessi. Thank you so much for joining tonight. The Wave God, by all means, let me bring you up if you are here. I am so sorry, guys. We are having connection issues, but as they say, the show must go on. We have multiple hosts, so when one of us has issues, the other one can just jump right in and try to keep things going. The Wave God, you should be able to come up. Let me try to send you that invite again and see if it comes through, because Jay, unfortunately, is having some connection issues tonight. And at first I thought it was just me, but no, it was not. Hey, Anita. Hey to everyone joining. Give us just a minute here. I am trying to do some damage control on our connection here tonight. So let me see if I can send our host an invite as well. Claudici, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Wolf, hello. Thank you for joining us. Fleetwood 80s baby. Fleetwood Mac. Hey. Okay, so I am sending you guys requests. Oh, so I did not get a bio from you for you this week, the Wave God. So first of all, thank you guys so much for joining the Black Table. My name is Mia. I am co-host to this illustrious show, and our guest today is the Wave God. He is going to give us his intro, since our host, who was probably going to do the intro, is actually having some technical issues right now. So first of all, the Wave God, am I saying it right?
Yeah, you're saying it right. I'm from North Philly, basically, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. Same place Jared is from, basically, Jay Simmons.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, I know he's from upstate, so give me
right. So I started off music really early, but before I was doing music, I was like a comedian. So I used to tell like a lot of jokes, but now I wanted people to take me serious, so I stopped telling jokes, and
you start music.
I shifted to writing music. So once
Gotcha.
I started doing that, I never stopped writing music. I did some poetry. I used to write scripts. I was writing all types of things, basically. I was writing songs, and I've been writing for a long time. I've been writing for a few decades, basically.
Okay. So I do have so many questions then, since I did not get a bio for you. Because like I said, Jay was supposed to read it, but like I tell everyone, when Black people get together to do anything, I'm sorry to say it like that, it's always some kind of problem. And that's all I'm gonna say about why Instagram keeps doing this to our live feed, because that makes no sense to me. Why is smooth up until we get ready to come together, and then all of a sudden we got all these problems? Because like I said, I done tested a couple of other lives and they are not having this problem. And like I said, y'all, he's in Florida, so there's no way with the Fios connections and everything that they got over there, he should be having the problems that he's
You
having.
know what it is? It's because it's the Black Table. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should have named it. Maybe we should have named it the White Table or the Yellow Table.
Probably so, right?
Yeah, or maybe we'll change it to the Purple Table, like I don't know, like Prince or something.
It's all good. Like I was talking to Jay Simmons the other day. You know, I don't really call him Jay Simmons, but we just gonna call him Jay Simmons.
I know.
But I was talking to him the other day about the Black Table situation and how y'all had the different people on there. And from this point, I was just telling him it's been black. Like,
Yes. And that wasn't even intentional, because the truth
right.
of it, we threw around a lot of different names, and I told him I didn't want it to seem like we were excluding anyone, because we're
No
not.
doubt.
But my father always taught us self first. And
Right,
before you can
right.
help anybody else, you need to be trying to help those who are in the same position as you and happen to look like you, because that's your immediate, we're all a human family, but your immediate family are the people that look like you. And nobody should feel bad about that, because I've seen even white people, I've seen Chinese people, I've seen Japanese people. Everybody is there to uplift theirs and then help uplift the world. Because how can you set a good example for the world when your own house is out of order? Our
Yeah, I
house is the
definitely
ones that look like
understand
us.
that.
Just how it is.
Right. No,
So,
you're correct on that.
that's what I said. So it's not a disrespect thing or anything. We welcome everybody to the Black Table. Anybody that has anything to contribute, respectfully. But of course, you know, we're trying to help Black businesses. The whole world is trying to help Black business right now. I mean, we've
Right.
noticed that we've got all these new hashtags, and even the commercials are support this Black business, because the world recognizes that we have been on the bottom. It's time to move us up to a level playing field with the rest of civilized society. And we thank the world for that. Hi, Madison and everyone else joining. I am so sorry. I'm trying to steer the comments too. I am hoping that Jay gets back in here soon with us, but I'm going to ask you some questions now.
What's good with y'all? I'm not going to act like I can see them comments. I'm
You
blind.
can't see them? Oh.
No.
Well, I'll
I
read
need
them
glasses. I don't have my glasses on right now, so you know it's a different zone. I can see
okay.
you. I just can't see them damn comments.
That's okay. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. Everybody's really just saying hi for right now, and they're agreeing with what we're saying about our society. They're saying so true, facts. Yes, even me, this poly girl. Anita, I'm assuming you mean you're Polynesian because you're from Australia. Because yeah, we've got Australia in here. We've got Canada in here. Caribbean Body is from Canada. Anita Marshall is from Australia. Yeah, we've got somebody all over the world looking at you right now.
Hey, that's a good vibe. That's a good look. You see what I put on.
Absolutely. So I do have a question for you. You said you've been writing music for years now, but you transitioned out of comedy into music. Was it like, because I think you said because you wanted to be taken seriously and you didn't want to just be looked at as the comedian.
Exactly.
As far as that.
I didn't want people to just, like you just said, I wanted people to take me more serious for what I do.
Hawaii's in here. Thank you, Honolulu, for joining us.
There's a lot of, when you're telling jokes, it's a different ball game. People think that it's always a joke when you tell jokes, so they look at you and try to make it that way and go that route.
Yeah.
So I just try to switch it around, and I notice when I make music, it's just a different feel.
I was gonna say it does make sense. They try to fit you into a box, and I hear a lot of stars, whether they've been in the business for a year or 20 years. Say that they'll try to box you in to what they want you to be, and sometimes it can be very uncomfortable because people have literally turned down roles, for example, because of the fact that, okay, this role, I forget her name, but one star, I had so much respect for her because she said that she refused. She told the producers of the show she's starring in now that she would not take the role unless they cast her family as Black. They wanted to give her, I think, a white family. I know her name. I just can't remember right now. But she wound up getting a Black family casted just so that she would keep the role.
I'll tell you right now, and I wouldn't know who it was. I'm bad with names.
Like, I was going to say, I'm much better with faces than I am with names.
I'm bad with names. I'm bad with faces. I'm bad with every damn thing. Like, my memory's not great. So, I write a lot of music. I don't remember all the music that I write because I write so often. Like, I write, it was one point I was writing like 5 raps a day. Okay. Now I still write, like I write songs. I still do like the freestyle raps that I cook up. Just a whole bunch of writing just to stay great. You gotta keep doing what you do.
Caribbean Body says they love to typecast. Hi, Camila. 7 is real. I'm sorry, I don't understand. 6 is real. 7 is real. I don't really understand what that means. That might be something, I don't know, that you understand, but I'm not quite understanding.
Like, I have no idea what that is.
I thought it was like an inside thing, like in the industry. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Caribbean Body L says they'll try to keep you in a box unless you force that change. Yeah, because it's like a factory line. I hate to say it that way, but from my observation, they immediately, when they grab you for something, they have something in their mind already where they want to put you in their society, in their Hollywood, in their way of doing things. And heaven help you, God forbid you have a vision of your own, because they don't want you to really have a vision, is what I've noticed about this industry. They just want you to fit into a neat little mold, and they want you to stay there and say, okay, when we need you, we'll call you. But
you know what, though? That's why I want to stay independent, and I just want to do my own thing. I want to connect with the fans and stuff like that, and just keep doing what I'm able to do. I don't want anybody to be able to control my creativity and stuff like that.
Hawaii's Island says Black culture is the most copied culture. Everybody wants Black, but wants to Black, but nobody wants Blacks. And that is so true. It's like the world will make mockery of us in a quick second and talk about the way we speak and everything, but everybody's mimicking our hairstyles, the way we speak on television and things of that nature. Like, you'll see it mimicked, but people look in real life as though there's something wrong with it, with us just being us. And
Oh,
I'm not
no
saying
doubt
we shouldn't
about
be
it.
intelligent. We
They
should
quote
be.
us. They quote us and everything. We
Welcome
see it
back,
all the
Jay.
time.
Welcome. It's I don't know what IG got going on my end. I can watch it pretty smooth. Right now it's still showing a little loading symbol, so I don't know.
Well, we can see you
I guess
fine, so
yeah.
fix your
So
face.
you
We
mean
can see
so,
you.
mate, so what you're saying? You can't see me?
I can see you guys. It's just you guys aren't moving. It shows a little loading, like you guys are loading.
Well, the good
But
news
it's
is
fine.
when this goes on playback, Jay, you should be able to edit it fine because I'm telling you, you are running smoothly right now. You may not be able to see us, but we can see you and everything fine. So when you do the edits to do this, yeah, it'll be.
So,
Right.
so everything is going smooth. I hear you guys smooth. The chats are going smooth. It's just video. I don't know. Well, Instagram. Let me tell you, I'm this close with Instagram because they trying.
I know.
And they've
I
been
was feeling
doing
like that tonight when we first started because I'm like, now it was fine all day. Then I get in here to this live and it's just looping and acting crazy. Like, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, if we have to, I'm glad you have YouTube as a platform as well, because that helps a lot when he posts these videos on YouTube and the views that we're getting from it. Yeah, so that's helping to bring our audience out a lot, regardless of what Instagram has going. So.
The show's
it is what it is.
job, so.
At least I can hear y'all.
Yeah, L says, hey, Jay, we can see you. So L can see you fine. Yeah, I was telling him, L, he's moving. Caribbean Body is saying that you're moving. You can see you just fine. I'm just trying to make sure we didn't miss anything.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, chats is pretty much smooth.
So Jay, I'm gonna let you if you had any questions for him because I know you know this guest very well. You guys are from the same neighborhood, the same basic area, and by all means, feel free to jump in because, like I said, we can hear you and see you fine.
Okay, so as long as y'all can hear and see fine, that's fine. I'll worry about my end later. It's still showing you look like y'all look like robots, but whatever it is.
It's so good.
It's so good. You know, because I can see y'all, whatever. But in this case, it is what it is. But for the most part, what did I miss so far? Because I don't even know what y'all talked about, what I missed.
Just a quick intro. We just did an intro and talked about the fact that he has transitioned from doing comedy into writing music, and you know, doing the music thing is more of his serious side that he wants to show the world.
Okay. So, like you said, I know him very well. We technically go way back to when I was 18, and obviously I'm 30 now, so you do the math on it. It's been some years. But it's a lot of things I've seen, noticed. Not this bad, but you know, we went to same school. We was going to Lincoln Tech.
Lincoln Tech, brother.
And, yeah, we was going to Lincoln Tech, whatever. So, you know, I need you to tell the people why you ain't like me back then, dog. I feel like it's a good statement.
I don't know. He was just giving off these weird vibes, this bad energy. I just didn't. I don't know. It was crazy. It was just a different experience.
He said you just got on his nerves. Just tell the truth. Y'all just got on each other's nerves. Sometimes your best friend be the worst person in the world. You're like, man, it's you again.
We never talked to each other. None of that. But I mean, you know, when he told me he didn't like me, I was like, wait, what? This is new.
Hey.
Yeah. Anita says 30 still young. Though. Y'all still young.
He's cool now. He's been cool for a minute, so it's all good.
It's like that movie. You guys remind me of a movie. Okay, so like, you know how you see the movies where you have the group of kids when they first meet, like they kind of get on each other's nerves. They don't really mesh, but by the end of the movie, they're a team and they fight in some greater evil. You know, I mean, fighting for the greater good or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of what you guys remind me
like
of.
A situation like that. It was definitely a whole vibe. You know, but him, you know, doing his music, which I've known he's been doing it for a while. So it was actually, you know, when he started putting it out there and start doing his, you know, putting his, I think it's Doing Numbers is a mixtape that I saw first. When he started putting that out there, that's honestly what, like, I was already at that time producing, so it was nice to see somebody else in the music. So it was just like, you know what, I'm gonna reach out and see what's up, because I never had no problem with him. So I'm like, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I never knew that he used to feel that way or none of that stuff. So it was like that situation. I reached out to him, and man, it's been nonstop, like with working together and everything. So, and Anita is right. 30 is still young. Yes, it is still young, but trust me, them knees is popping. That knee check engine light came on already.
Well, I tell you, like, that's your knees. My knees good over here.
I was gonna say I'm 36, so that's not what I want to hear from you at 30, bro. I'm 36, so.
I got good knees. I don't know what that man been doing, but my knees is great.
I was gonna say you need to do some squats when you get up in the morning. You need to be in that bathroom, just up and down, just do some squats and get them legs pumping. Because you're right, you're too young for that. If you having that problem at 30, 10 years from now, we don't want to have this discussion.
Listen, I'm gonna be walking around with the cane by then. Then at that point, that's when I gotta worry about somebody kicking the cane from underneath.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah, we gotta do something.
You know how it is when you can barely walk. You kiss the old lady off, so she kicked the cane right from underneath you, and you fall.
But no, seriously, if you guys, Anita says, I'm 42. Come on now. She said, but you know, it is a fact in society that women outlive men. I don't know why that is, scientifically speaking.
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Don't take no offense. Y'all women like to stress us men the hell out.
We take care of the children. We stress y'all out.
Hold up, y'all. Wait, pause. We can pause.
He said, hold up.
Like we take care of the kids too.
You do, but we're at home with them most of the time in a normal environment. At least we're supposed to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I know in this society, women and men both work. You know, and I don't think that we necessarily stress each other out. I think the world stresses everybody out more, and the men take the brunt of it sometimes they can for us, because you don't want to see your woman stressed. You know, if you're in a relationship, nobody wants their woman stressed out dealing with something. So maybe that's
and that's definitely true. But you know, some things y'all can just be helpful with. You know, like if we ask y'all what y'all want to eat, don't tell us one thing and then you tell us to make the suggestion, and we pull up to this place and y'all like, nah, I don't want that.
Really like, do that? Like, yes, I see that on social media, but you know, I don't eat out, so, and I cook myself. So it's kind of hard for me to relate to that particular issue, but I do see it on social media. And he's right. If y'all doing that, stop making us look bad.
I'm getting a look.
Because there's people, my parents said, there are people in this world that don't have a bed to lay in, food to put in their mouth. Be thankful you got a man taking you out to eat. That's the way I look at it.
That's a real deal thing. You know. It is a real deal thing where women do that, where they'll ask us, or we ask them what they want to eat. They'll say, I don't know. We pull up at a spot, or we suggest a spot. No, I don't like that. But you just told me you don't know. Like it'd be like, yeah, that's why y'all outlive us.
The littlest things just set you right on off. Thirst says a women's physical body is designed to outlast a man's. That might actually be true because of the fact that our bones have to move and all the things that we have to do, like in order to bear children and things like that. That might actually be true, because when you think about it, like when we put on corsets, you literally can take a woman's waist from this to this, and even though that looks abnormal, it does not bother us if we do it right, because our organs are used to shifting around anyway to make space.
Well, listen, though,
right back in. So
that's cool though. I would want females to outlive me, because what man would want to be on the earth without females?
That is true.
Say that would make for a very boring place. So I always assume that's why God made us in the first place, because he got sick of looking at y'all. Like he got sick of looking at himself. He got sick of looking at himself. He said, "I need something softer. I need something pretty. I want to look at something enjoyable."
So. What I'm saying was that Hawaii's Island Breeze said more fruits and vegetables. If you have white spots in your fingernails, you're not eating right. Well, we're gonna touch base on that one. Our body, Caribbean body says our body literally has to break and come back together for life. That is true. That is true.
Yes, and it is very painful. It is very painful. Let me just tell you.
Your body really do go through some situations that I just couldn't see a man going through. I mean, from the monthly cycles y'all got to go through to the pushing out a baby, and you know, for a man to witness that, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful scene, but man, y'all Them
Think
claws,
about
man.
before we had hospitals. Think about before we had hospitals or any of that.
I'm about to jump in the zone. All right, we gonna eliminate the comments right now and just talk about something else. All right, so basically, I still do music. I be dropping songs on a regular. I drop singles. I just dropped a single called Swimmer. It's a great song. It's a different kind of song. It's a wavy song. I make relationship songs and I make wavy songs.
So can you find your music in the App Store right now or the iTunes
Yeah,
stores?
actually, you can go to my website, waveguidecom, and you can click on different links and it'll take you straight to the music.
Now, if you wanna spell that out for him, because it's obviously, you know,
right.
American English is obviously broken. So, you know, and people will put THE instead of the actual way. So if you want to spell that out for them so they know how to find your music.
Yeah, it's basically spelled just like my Instagram, which is DAHWAVEGOD.com. So it's just like the waveguide.com. But
that way you guys know, so y'all won't be actually typing in the word "the" and then be like, "Yo, I can't find your music," you know. So that's why you know.
Right now, guys, y'all got that?
But right, I drop music all the time. I'm working on an EP right now that I'm probably going to drop either later on this year or next year. Besides the music, I also do a podcast. Now the podcast is called A Dose of Denise. So basically,
definitely let's talk about it. Let's talk about that podcast. So what is it? What is it that you actually do on it?
Well, we talk.
You know, like what do you guys talk about?
We talk about all kinds of subjects on there, all kind of topics. Basically, like what y'all was just about to go into. It can go anywhere on this podcast.
My man, it's funny.
Basically, the podcast is me, and it's basically because I'm like the co-host on there. And then you got the main host, which is basically my wife, T.B.T, which is Denise. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
Okay. And give them the address where they can go find the podcast or give them some direction. Because if they're like me and they don't listen to a lot of podcasts, it's kind of hard to take direction on that. Like I hear people everybody says they got one.
That's fine. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify. You can just type it into Google. It's pretty much like just like that. And you just type it in, like it's A Dose of Denise.
A Dose of Denise. That's A.
Right.
The word. Yeah. You know what? Let me put that in here too.
Yeah, it's all.
And that's spelled regular. It's no crazy spelling with that.
And that's why I put it in here, just in case anybody thought it was otherwise. So you're just going to look it up in either the App Store or the Google Play Store. It can be found. Just search A Dose of Denise, and you guys can check out the Wave Gods podcast, which is co-hosted by his fiance.
Exactly.
So how is it working?
Do you have any plans for? Do you got any plans as far as like expanding brand wise or whatever the case may be?
Well, that's always the move. So like, I definitely want to do different things. Eventually I want to jump into like, I don't necessarily just want to jump into like making clothes and stuff like that. I want different kind of stuff, like maybe like wallets and shit like that. You know, I just want to move different.
I got you.
Yeah, and that makes sense because things like that, like wallets, packs, maybe even purses, things that sell because everybody wants to buy accessories. It sounds like you want to start with accessories.
Oh yeah, right.
Accessories is definitely a good way because a lot of people like them. That I can say. I mean, I'm one of the people who buy accessories if the glasses look right, if the wallet looks nice, or the hat, whatever. I'm definitely one to get accessories, so I can see where that's going. And that is something I don't see going on really too much, is people making accessories, to put with the merch that others make.
Right. And back to Mia's question, that's your name, right? Mia? Mm-hmm. Back to her question, because that was a good question. I don't think Jay Simmons heard the question, but she said, how is it like working with your significant other? It's one of those things where it's like, it's great, but sometimes it's like,
You said sometimes
it can go left, but it can be right. I mean, as long as you don't take what we talk about on the podcast off the podcast. basically.
You like what we're having on the
that
podcast? Stay
is
on the
something
podcast. Don't go to bed mad at each
because
other.
I've never done that.
Exactly.
Podcast.
Yeah, like because I've never done that, right? When you guys are doing this podcast, and you guys are, let's say you guys pick a specific topic, how do you manage to deal with the agreements and then the disagreements? Like, does it get heated, or does it? You guys know how to manage that? Because that's something I never did. That's something I've never actually seen. Truth be told.
Well, I think it's like one of them things where it's like we can agree to disagree. So it's
Gotcha.
not going to be something that gets too crazy. I'm not about to start cursing her out and all that.
Yeah.
It's not going to go there. It's just going to be like, okay, we just see different on these views.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's fine.
I was just wondering because I've never seen that. You know how like when most people get into a situation, it gets heated real quick. So the podcast is no longer podcast; it's actually turning into where y'all about to actually crap up.
But you know what?
But
you know what? That's crazy though, because like the ratchet people gonna love that. They be like, oh, they turning up. We love this energy. But you just want to keep this certain way, because I don't just want, like, not saying that audience is not cool, but I don't just want that audience tuning in. I want a broad audience.
But that reminds me of, I'm not going to name any names because I'm probably not supposed to tell this. So I'm going to be very careful about how I say this. Right. Somebody in the business told me that all those shows that we like to watch, the things that we think are unscripted, that stuff, all of it. I'm not going to name no names because I don't want to ruin no shows for nobody. But that
you
stuff
know
is
what?
scripted. They know who's going to win at the end already at the beginning. They know know where it's going to go, when it's going to get ratcheted up. So sometimes, because they know how to cater to all audiences, like we were just talking about, somebody wants to see that. That excites somebody, but you can't get personal with it either. Once them cameras die, or once you get off that subject, you have to know how to let things go. And I feel like if you and your fiance, or even Jay, if you were working with your significant other, or even as we work, on these shows and things like this together, I feel like at a certain point, the audience would probably get bored if they didn't have some insight into the moments, and I call them moments.
But you know
everybody
what?
has a moment.
And that's the thing, though. Like, it does get a little spicy because we do have disagreements. But like I said, it's not getting spicy to where you think like it's about to go to the next level. It's just getting spicy to where like you're engaged and you like what's going on, but you know where it's going and where it stands.
Exactly. A healthy argument. There's nothing wrong with a healthy argument.
Right.
If you agreed on everything, it would definitely be very cookie cutter.
No, I definitely agree with that.
Because agreed on everything, you're like a pushover.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with that, because even though, like, for instance, like I don't work with my significant other, I still work with my co-host Mia a lot. So we do a lot of talking as opposed to, how the show and stuff is going, things like that. So one thing that I know for a fact that we both try to do is we definitely try to meet in the middle. Because, like you said, it's easier to be healthy than it just goes south and then nobody's not trying to back down. So I see what you're saying with that.
Hawaii's Island Breeze said, unity is a good subject to address. Discuss our differences as Black people so we can see that we are one family and uplift each other. And that's kind of the subject we're on right now. You wouldn't have a disagreement if there wasn't something different in your head versus the other person's head. So be it your spouse, be it your co-host, whoever. Go ahead, Jay.
I would definitely want the Wave God to answer that question. That's actually a good topic. That's actually a good question, good topic. What is your output on that?
I didn't Unity. Question. What was the question?
Unity is a good subject. Discuss our differences as Black people so we can see that we are one family to uplift each other. Sorry guys, I'm trying to scroll the comments because they don't make them really,
Well, I'm gonna tell you just like this, like you already know, like I worked today, I did a lot of different things today. So like that's probably like I'm like more, this is me anyway, because I'm like more like chill. I'm not determined. Like if you see me on social media, like besides this live is how I am. But if you see me on the rest of social media, I turn up. But that's just, it's entertainment.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, you're an artist, so you don't want to get on a track or get on any type of music all, boring and moving all slow with it. So I definitely get it. I definitely totally get it. Mia, what do you think about that one? That's actually a good topic.
I mean, what he just said kind of went with the next comment that says the entertainment sector is all catered for detail audiences. I don't know what he meant by detail audiences, but I kind of read it the wrong way the first time and it came across differently in my head. But when you said you're here, when you're on this show, this is kind of the natural you. But you'll turn up sometimes on social media because again, you have to cater to your audience. Nobody wants to get on the live and you're just sitting there like, hey, you know, and you may be an introvert. You may be a low-key person, where whatever you want to call it, whatever name you have for how you are inside. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath and put on the other hat and say, hey, you know, because you want to hype people and you want to get them into whatever it is you're trying to introduce. So
you know what I think, though? I think like you just said, I'm an introvert to the max, but like when I get on my songs, that's when I get to be something else. I get to turn into what I would want to be for the moment.
Yeah.
Because, you know, some of the songs you probably listen to, you'd be like, wait a minute, you want to be that way? And I'd be like, nah, it's just for the moment.
Yeah, it's like you get to express what's really deep down, because even introverts have a fun side. They have the laughter side. They just don't express it exactly the same way as an extroverted person does. But that doesn't mean inside you don't want to grab people and have a moment where you just while out and just relax and enjoy whatever that moment of life is. And we have a hard time with that. So I definitely recognize where you're coming from. Thirst says, no, I'm sorry. Hawaii says, create a working unit or group so we can help each other in times of need. And that's the whole point of having a business district. I think every race of people has a business district. We tried to have one, and we remember we got bombed out. Remember the bombings that happened? We tried to,
yeah, right, I do.
So, but no, we should have a business district. We should have an idea, an area where Black people can express their ideas. And if it's a good idea, it should get funded. It should be taken care of. Look at Shark Tank. Shark Tank is multiple races of people, but they're all rich. They're the rich listening to the people who are not so rich, who have a good idea. And not only are they capitalizing off of that, but they're also helping you to make money too. So it's not what do you call it?
Y'all coming with the topics tonight, boy. I'm looking at these comments.
They really are.
We're gonna
get tonight. The Savvy Millennial just came in. Hey, he says Black men united, Black people united. But yes, Black men definitely, because that's our protection, you know. And I say that as a woman.
I'm loving it. Like, I'm loving the engagement from the audience that you guys go. But that also goes back to what you were saying about the about him creating like a work group for, you know, Black people and stuff like that. That's the reason why the Black Table came about. That's literally why it came about. It wasn't just like you know, we was just going to do this for like monetization and stuff like that. It really came about because it was like there is people, you know, who have a voice that need to be heard. So, and a lot of people aren't doing it. If you go through, think about it, y'all go through most people Instagram, who's actually doing exactly what we do? Most of them are wasting time. Most of them are, you know, probably out there just doing what they want to do. But I don't see nobody giving it where it's an opportunity to people actually for people to voice themselves. So that's why I'm looking at the engagement. I'm looking at the comments, and y'all coming with the topics for real.
Yep, the Savvy Millennial says entertainment/rap is still used as exploitation, sales, and entertainment. Yeah, we were talking about that at the very beginning, about how they want to put you in a box and they want to put you over on a shelf until they're ready for you to be what they want you to be. But God help you if you have a mentality that says, I have this in mind, I have this vision. People oftentimes in that environment want to control your vision and make it their vision. But, and I hate to say this, and I had to preface it, but back in slavery, we would have good ideas and they would sit there and they would talk in front of us. Masters would talk in front of their slaves and they say, oh, and I'm sorry, but I got to put on the voice. John, what you think about this, John? And then when John said, well, master, my idea is such and so, he said, you don't know nothing, go. And then he go use your exact idea that you just gave him. Enough.
You know the crazy thing? You know the crazy thing about what you just said? They still do this under employment.
Now you know why I said it.
They do.
That's exactly what I'm referring to.
They do it under employment in so many ways. And even, and you know, it's not just like jobs alone. They still kind of do that even for, you know, self-employed people like such as like me. Like, they have a way where they know how to manipulate the system to use it to their advantage in a way. Because like, You know, like for those who are employed, you know, they definitely they it's like more control in that area where they can really do that. You know, they want you to clock in, clock out. They tell you when to go to break, things of that nature. You're a grown person. But then you got also in my case, like, you know, me being self-employed, I got slightly enough freedom, but it's not like I can go off the hinges and really, really do what I want. Because at the end of the day, like if money's coming into the business, I still have to pay Uncle Sam by all means. Like it's not like you can escape that. So it's like they have a way to manipulate it, and it's really messed up. And you know, he is right. And as far as the entertainment system, they had a tendency of doing that, which is all the reason why, you know, I personally never wanted to be signed under to a record label and stuff like that, because I felt like, you know, they like Mia said, they want to shelf you, and then when it's time for you to shine, then they want to take you off the shelf. That's when they use you, and then once they get what they want, they shelf you again, and it's just like, it's ridiculous.
Yep. And at the end of the day,
that goes to say, I feel the same way though. I would never want to be like not independent, and that's just because like I don't want to be under that control.
Yeah.
It's like you can tell me to go wherever you feel like telling me to go, whenever you feel like telling me to go there. Like, that's just crazy.
Which is why, and I'm gonna tell everybody this: you need to, if you have a very good idea, before you get on the telephone running your mouth about somebody, you need to really consider, even if it's just a poor man's patent, get some kind of protection on your idea, because those phones listen to you just like Google listens to you. They just got sued for listening in on people's conversations. Apple just got sued for that. And catering the advertisements and stuff based on what you saying on the phone, which means they listening. They got sued for listening in through Siri.
Damn, that's crazy.
So, yes, that was just in the news. Just in the news. And
that's why we tell people, watch what you say via phone and watch what you. This is the whole thing. A lot of people don't understand it
because they got the means and you don't yet.
Yeah, and they got like, a lot of people have to understand that. You know, you also got to watch what you post on social media. A lot of people post a lot of ideas, post their ideas on social media.
And people going to jail for posting too much on social media.
That too.
They showing up to show no, because you're wearing the stolen merchandise on social media. Like, what is wrong with us?
Getting locked up.
Like, people getting like, point is, we were just talking about a couple episodes ago about, you know, how they doing the PPP loan and the people going to jail for that. Man. Like Mia said, if you were smart enough to get that loan, you should have been smart enough to know what to do with that loan, or just start your own business. Like it's
but no, a white couple just went to jail because they got a $20 million PPP loan through a bunch of different names that they were smart enough to figure out how to get that much. But then they went and bought property one state over. I'm like, that money should have been in an offshore account across the Cayman Islands or something. Your behind should have been over there with it. What are y'all doing?
They had access to that much money and they fucked it up like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In
a matter of and that's it's crazy how people do that. People have ideas. People are, you know, you got intelligent people in this world, but their intelligence kills them. They can shoot themselves in the foot because they're so intelligent, but they don't know how to handle it. They're not humble with it.
Nope. We need to really look at the Jewish community and take note on how they work and bring each other up. Our history and struggles are so common. It's not just the Jewish community. It's like I said, Chinese people, they got their own country. Japanese people got their own country. They might come over here to America to thrive, but they still, at the end of the day, have their own home somewhere. We are the only people in this country that don't have a home, and we are a nation of consumers. We barely produce anything, and if we do, we allow somebody else to take that from us because, like,
but you know what? Like you just said, we barely produce. Like, that's real shit, because like when you see everything, it's like made in China, made from here, and it's crazy.
That's the issue.
Everything.
And the sad fact is, people like, I think it's Liberia is a black country. I think it is Liberia. People in Liberia and all these other black countries, they literally said, we did not even know there were black people in the United States. They did not even know we were still over here. That's how many generations have passed that they just had us, which is why when they bring the rich people over from other countries, they put you over there right by the train tracks. They know where to find you, and they take them to the upper areas and the bigger cities, and they bypass you. That's why people don't know we over here suffering the way we are, because this whole country is set up to keep you right where you are, because you are a nation of consumers. It may sound bad, but it's a fact. We are a nation of consumers. We don't even manufacture a pencil.
This nation lives off of basically being a consumer. I mean, let's take last year, for example. When everything shut down, there was no companies making money, so therefore most of them went out of business. Then it started being to the point where most of them were trying to request loans just so they can stay in business. You know, it's this. If there's no money flowing, we got nothing. Period. Everything stops because, like you said, we don't produce our own stuff. We don't grow our own vegetables. You know, and even if you got farms and stuff, we don't make and do as much as these other countries
do. It's not on a mass scale. We do everything small and separate, which is why we still don't get it.
Like, I've seen so many stores shut down just within last year because there was no money coming in and they closed down. And obviously you need money to keep the bills going and all that stuff. I've seen so much happen.
About what you just said and stuff like that, like, you found out that these businesses was just like employers. They live in check to check.
Yeah, basically, that's basically what that is. Because we pay their bills.
Yeah.
They need us to come in the store and buy something so that we can pay their bills. But the minute how everything stopped last year, that's why most of these businesses went out of business, because we was not allowed to go out. Everything shut down by government. You know, it wasn't like a situation where it was by choice. The government shut everything down. So unless you was essential, and you know, I put quotations on that, unless you was essential, that was the only way you pretty much had a chance of maybe surviving. And that goes for businesses and, you know, residential people. That was the only chance. You had to be essential. So it became to the point where people quit their jobs and they start looking for essential jobs just to try to make ends meet. And then people were just massively going like Walmart and things of that because they just wanted to get out the house so much. I know Walmart, I know they loaded up on money last year. I know they did.
And there was so much leftover food. The Savvy Millennial said there are grants literally for farmers not to farm. Some of the farmers got on TikTok and they showed literally tons and tons of onions, of potatoes, of things that could have been given away to homeless people and fed to somebody just rotten, just sitting out there. They dumped. They got in trouble for this. And this was years ago. Back when I was a child, I heard about this. But they talk about how the price of milk had to go up. That was a lie. They took a bunch of milk and dumped it into the Pacific or the Atlantic, one of the two, and they got caught. They dumped thousands of tons or thousands of gallons, however they measure that, into the ocean just to create a shortage. There is no shortage of food. There's no shortage of oil. You do realize oil is just cleaned and recycled, right?
That's all it is.
But they let there's a shortage of it so that they can raise gas prices. They think we are stupid. And just like this platform we own right now, if Instagram wanted to shut this down, there is literally nothing we can do about it because we don't have our own platform to do anything.
This is why, you know, that touches on a lot of people. Anybody who's in this comments, if you have an idea, like me, I said, if you have an idea, make sure you write it down. Make sure you protect it at all costs, right? If you have an idea, I encourage you, because this worked out for me, create you a website that is yours. And the reason why I say that is because when Instagram, and it goes back to January, when Instagram disabled my account for no reason. Now, if you look at my feed, you'll see that I have no violations on there at all. I don't post ratchet stuff. I don't post any of that stuff. Instagram actually banned my account back in January for no reason at all. And I had to fight to actually get it back. Like, I went talking to Facebook and everything. The only reason how I didn't really lose my audience was because I had my website and people knew where to go. So if you have an idea, create you a website, make sure you put everything that you can onto that website. Because like Mia said, we don't own Instagram, just like we don't own YouTube. We don't own Facebook. They shut that down. That's it.
And you got to start from scratch, doing whatever it is you're doing over again. You know how many people have told me I had a page, but it got banned or disabled? No real reason. And then they started back up, because if there was really a reason, you wouldn't have got back on it, because they shut you down again. But when you get so big or so far,
if you need a website, you know who to go to. Go to that man Jay Simmons. He cooking the
Yeah, I
website.
do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say go if you need it. Definitely, it's important if you have an idea, especially if you're trying to become an entrepreneur, or even if you just want to make a side hustle. Still make a website. You don't have to have a merch store or anything. But while most of y'all are focused on trying to build your social media, focus on mainly trying to build your website, your emailing list, your text messaging list. Try to build that up, because if something happens to your social media, you still have your website to still be able to connect with these people that you was connecting with on social media. So definitely do that.
The Savvy Millennial says we do the CINIAPP is Black owned and like Instagram. So you guys check out the Sinai app, THECINI app. I'm going to look into that when we finish here tonight, just to kind of see a little bit more about it. But if it's Black owned, that's definitely something to consider having as a backup platform. If there's a platform there, let's take advantage of it.
The wealthy said to write down your ideas and dreams. That is true. That is true. But like a lot of people don't like to do that. A lot of people want to be first in everything, and that's how they get screwed. You know, it's people don't want to sit down and actually be humble and write down their dreams, write down their ideas, and, you know, write down how they're going to pursue it. They rather put it on social media and pretty much wait for a handout, and hoping that they get a handout, not realizing that their idea is getting stolen.
Yep. Loosely protected, if nothing else, so you can sue later, as Hawaii said. Yeah, you want to do at least a poor man's copyright. Mail a copy of it to yourself at least, or email a copy of it to yourself. Something that you know you can go back to later and say, you see this date here? There is no disputing this date as to when this got in my hands or went there or went. Because I had somebody actually try to tell me that I did not need to get copyrights. They were like, you just need to do the poor man's copyright. I said, I understand that a poor man's copyright is good. That's good to do when you start now. But as your ideas get bigger, get you some real copyrights from copyright.gov so that this government can have your back in the event that somebody tries to steal your stuff, because the government really does not care what we do as far as that kind of thing goes. It's these companies that already have something out there, a product out there that they feel like you're competing with. They're the ones that are going to try to ram you down. And as they said on Shark Tank, smash you like the little cockroach you are. But you're going to have to show them that they are not the only bug, and they are not the only
in the fashion industry. You know, it's crazy that you say that. It actually happened recently with one of my music tracks, and I was actually talking to the waveguide about this, where, you know, somebody, because I got copyrights, you know, anything that I release, anything that I do is trademarked, is already copyrighted. So, you know, people can't take it. And somebody actually went and tried to, they took one of my instrumentals from my song, and they tried to release it. YouTube and then whatnot caught it, basically, you know, letting the person know, like, you know, this belongs to so-and-so. And the person had the audacity to reach out to me asking if I can release the copyrights to it. And I was like, no, I'm not. What do I look like releasing the copyrights to something that I own? That
I was going to say, if they would have done better to ask you, can they have permission to use it? Then you could have made money off of it, and they could have did what they want, because that's how it goes. If you want to use somebody's music in your movies, if you want to use it in your commercials, in your advertising, just like right now for the Pandora Effect. I want to use a song called Pandora. The entire thing is in Spanish, and I'm already in talks with someone to get permission to use that song because I like it that much, but I know I'm going to have to pay for it, and I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with paying, you're just a cheapskate. You're trying to steal from Black people, again, because that's how we do. We'll go into somebody's business that don't look like us and pay $1,000 and won't pay our brother $100 for the same service. That
Gucci,
needs to stop.
Louis,
It
Prada.
We cheap.
Do I need to say any more names that people care about?
You know, stop behaving like a virus and start behaving like, I don't even know what to call it, when it's a symbiotic relationship where both sides need to benefit.
Yeah.
If both sides are not benefiting, then what is and I'm not saying that it always has to be beneficial to both, because sometimes to me a benefit is watching my brother rise. If, like, there's something I can do to help. But when it comes to my proprietary
it was a big deal. Some our last guest said, he said it, and he was like, it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's just about broadening one another, helping one another. It's not always about the money. So, you know, when we say help one another, we don't always mean by the dollar. We don't always mean that. But don't sit there and try to downplay our stuff when you're over at a Gucci store and you just basically spend almost a bean trying to impress the next person, because that's all you're doing. So, you know, it's ways of helping people, and it doesn't always involve money. But don't you know, stealing ideas from another black person, and that's not right. It ain't right at all.
No. So guys, I know we're coming up on the hour. We went over an extra 15 minutes because we were running late today. The Wave Guide, can you give them your information again? It's thewaveguide.com.
Yes, waveguide.com, DAHWAVAGOD.com. And then the podcast, A Dose of Denise, you can pretty much find it everywhere. The podcast
App Store, Google Play Store.
Right.
You're going to search A Dose of Denise for the podcast.
You want to start on the website, right? The Waveguide. Let people know what they can expect on your website. What can they find?
Well, they're gonna find me, obviously, because I do a thing called car bars. I was doing that heavy, basically, where I would just freestyle into different records that was known or they came out, old records, new records. Didn't really matter to me. I just write a lot. So I was writing to those records. So you're gonna see that. It'll take you straight to the link, YouTube. You'll be able to watch all the videos that I have. Then
so it sounds like your creative process.
Say that again?
I said it sounds like your creative process. They'll get to see that.
Oh yeah. They'll get to see all the raps that I have. Well, not all the raps I have, because I have a lot of raps. But they'll see a lot of videos that I have up. I got a lot of videos of me rapping. But other than that,
go ahead.
I'm on your website. I see that you have your store that has all your music. And you want to tell these guys about the services look like you have here.
Oh yeah, we got services too, because I said why not? Because I know how to do different things. I said let me do that. I can do like mini clips. Basically, you just break videos up into different clips. But I'm breaking audio up though, not just like video, just audio. So that's like if somebody wanted to break podcast audio up, I'll break it up into how many clips they want, and they can just put it into the reels. And you know how reels go.
Jay, now when we have a broadcast, we really need to get their websites and things ahead of time and pin them as a post, because I see that at the bottom of a lot of IG lives. I don't know how to do it, but I know you can pin a post down there with your guest information. Like we could put thewaveguide.com. We could put A Dose of Denise, see App Store, see Google Play Store, search, something like that. We need to start
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know how to do it either,
our guest information down there for people, because people are asking for it.
So, you know, I'm glad you touched on that. There's definitely, you know, so there might be some advantages that you may have, that I may have. As far as that go, I can definitely look into that. I know for a fact that Instagram has a setting where I think if you have over a certain amount of followers, it unlocks new stuff. So I don't know how that necessarily works. We all have a different following bracket. So probably some things that are available to you may not be available to me, just as the same maybe the Waveguide, and vice versa. So I would say if definitely put our heads together and see how we can work that. Because I know Instagram does have a thing where they have a limit on what they release to you if you have a certain amount of following.
The thing that I've noticed is different is that they will let me, what is it called when you can but I think you can do that too. Tag, oh God, what is it called? When you tag merchandise, like if you're wearing someone's merchandise, things like that. I noticed that opened up recently, but I still don't see an option to do that here.
Like I know for a fact I can do that. The one thing I can't do, which a lot of people, I think you have to have a certain amount of following to do, is like if you was to post in your story and they have the swipe up, I don't have that.
Yeah, I don't have that yet either.
Yeah, it's like advertising features. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to some more. I'm gonna do some research for all of our sakes.
But you guys, another thing too. It's like the badges thing that they do.
Oh
That
yeah, where
too.
you can buy badges to support. I
Right.
think, yeah, I think that comes with a much bigger bracket. I think it does.
Yeah, I think it goes with like your engagement and all that shit. It's just like
Mm,
different.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hold on. Hawaii says, I'm in film school now and need music in the future and other elements. Hawaii's Island, please follow the Wave God and Jay Simmons if you're not, because I'm sure both of them can provide you the services that you're looking for. If you're looking for music and beats and things like that and other elements
Oh,
for
right.
what you're
Yeah.
doing in film school.
Yeah, definitely you want to definitely follow us, Hawaiian. Both of us have services that can probably definitely really help you. Depending on what you're looking for, that's where you would have to, venture out. And even still, you can also feel free to DM us, ask us questions about that. That's the goal, to help one another. So I have no problem reaching out.
Sorry. The Savvy Millennial says to basically get a slide up on your story, how you do the slide up, he said you have to have a Facebook store. Okay, so, and I know Facebook and Instagram are all owned by the same umbrella company.
Right.
And so is, I think Snappy is too, Snapchat. So, okay, that makes sense. You just need to have a store set up in order to have that feature or function.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna have to look at it. I think because I do have a Facebook store, I just have to look at it more. Facebook, like I said, limits me from a lot of things. Even though I have a lot going on, so they try to minimize.
I completely forgot.
Thirst
just posted it. He is absolutely right. That's what it is. I forgot. I have a private account. If I go public and turn it into a professional account, all these other features unlock. So I'm seriously consider unlocking my account at some point soon. But yeah, you absolutely do have to have a public account, and I don't have a public account right now, so that's probably got something to do with it. But yeah, Thirst. I'm not ready to go public just yet. I know most of you guys are public. I have my reasons for being private. But
No,
I totally get it. I've been public for some time with my Instagram. Mainly when I started doing it in music. I've actually had my Instagram account since 2012. So it used to be my actual personal, and I archived a lot of things and converted it into basically my business/brand page. It was just, I found it way easier to just use what I already had as opposed to just starting, from scratch, because that can be a headache as well.
Yeah.
See, me, I got social media late. I wasn't really dealing with social media. I just started dealing with it because of the simple fact that what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta do social media. So this is it.
Now I get where you're coming from, because I've never been a huge Facebook fan. I started with Instagram, and I'm like, okay, Instagram's pretty good. TikTok is probably my favorite for just watching videos. There's so much.
But you know what? I have TikTok, but I just hate it.
I just like to use it to watch things. Like I haven't learned how to edit all the young stuff, the things the young kids are doing. But
you know why I hate it? Because see, with me, I'm a lyricist, so I was putting up my rap videos. They was moving and whatnot, but they'll like block the sound out your video if you use like certain language, like people not getting naked on here. Are you serious?
Man, they block. A lot of black people are complaining about that. They're like, so wait a minute, this white person can come over here and wearing a bikini,
right?
My legs can't show from the calves down, and you talking about nudity. I mean, just any old excuse to be low down. Just any old excuse.
They really do that to like black people. It's crazy because they do it to me.
It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense at all, because all they're doing is cutting themselves out of something. Because at the end of the day, do you honestly think that this is going to go on forever, and some black person, some rich black person is not going to create a platform for black people? And guess what you black people are going to do when it finally happens? We leaving you and we going over there, because that's how we roll. That's how we do.
This is definitely where the competition came in at, because when TikTok started, obviously everybody was shifting over there because of the hype and the craze or whatever. So one thing I can say about Facebook and Instagram is that they caught on immediately. When they seen where the traffic was going, they were smart, and that's when they came out with Reels. So I feel like even if people go over to TikTok and that stuff happens, I seen a lot of them come right back to Instagram, because they were like, you know what, at the same time, Instagram has Reels, which is basically a TikTok version. So what do I need to be, having both for? So I feel like that's where, Instagram did good when they found out what was going on. Like they kept their ears to the street.
But you know what though? YouTube did it too.
Yeah. That too. YouTube put on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Everybody got their
Google,
competition. Yeah. But
Google owns
Instagram is
YouTube.
simpler. It is much simpler than TikTok as far as figuring out how to create videos and that kind of thing. I think where TikTok
Hmm.
is making their mistake, and don't get me wrong, young people all over TikTok, they are. But Instagram will never die because it is more simplistic for everyone.
Yeah.
It's much easier to navigate.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, we're missing comments, y'all. I'm hopeless with social media. Build in private, then go public when you're ready to reach the market. Salute the Wave God. Mo Talent Live says salute to the Wave God. Mullins, thank you so much for the sweet
Thank you.
comment.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Who else we have here? I'm just scrolling through them. At Fanbase. I don't know what at Fanbase is, but Mo Talent Live is telling us to check that out. And Ja Rule actually has Icon. It's like Instagram. Okay, so Icon, ICONN, is a platform that is Black owned, similar to Instagram, but Black owned.
Okay.
Yep. I got a friend got blocked for dancing shirtless. It don't take much.
See?
It don't take much.
It doesn't take much on TikTok. I think, and that's why I'm like, I have a TikTok, but I keep it to a minimum on what I post on there. Typically, what I do is I'll take what I have on Instagram and I just put it on TikTok. I don't make nothing on TikTok because of how they are.
Exactly. Like even when I post a couple of my videos on there, they already pre-made elsewhere. I just slam them over there for content. So
yeah. I got way more publicity on Instagram, but it's just the way their stuff is. TikTok has their stuff set up way differently, including their advertisement. Like you said, Instagram and Facebook is so easy to navigate and work with that when you look at other platforms, it's like, yo, like, what is this?
Yep. Fanbase and Icon are Black owned Mo Talent Live. You guys definitely want to check it out. I know we're not going to leave Instagram unless Instagram forces our hand because everybody's here, everybody's comfortable here. And you have to think, even when you go to those other places, you have to consider that you have an audience here as well. There are some people here that are never going to go on those other platforms. So you still have to keep that line of communication open. Or if things get that bad, invite your fans to go with you. Because a lot of famous people will do that. They'll be like, look, join me over here. I'm headed over to this platform. How many boycotts have happened behind things like that? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely check out Fanbase and Icon with 2 N's. ICONN. All right. It's getting late. And I have loved being with you guys. But any wrap up you guys want to do, this is the time to do it.
For those of y'all who are in the comments, I want to thank y'all for definitely, tuning in and having the patience to deal with the connection issues and all that stuff. That's an automatic thank you. I really do appreciate that. For those of y'all who are actually into the Black Table, if you want to catch more of the Black Table, make sure you turn your notifications on as first. Secondly, you can go to my website, which is officialjsimmons.com, which I'll put that in the comments. Go to officialjsimmons.com and you can see any upcoming schedule as far as who we're going to have next on the show, things of that nature. So make sure that you can, if you want, you can go there. You can see it. If you want to catch up, this is a new feature that I've added to my website as well. If you want to catch up on previous episodes of the Black Table, you can also go to my website. And right there on the front page with the scheduling, you'll see a button that says the Black Table episodes. You click that, it'll take you straight to the YouTube playlist of the Black Table. And there you'll be able to watch everything that pertains to the Black Table, from the full episode to the recap to the next episode. Everything is lined up exactly basically as if this is an actual, Netflix show or whatever the case may be. I lined it up perfectly for you guys. So if you guys want to tap into the Black Table, that's how you do it. Officialjsimmons.com. You can go there and you can definitely look into all that stuff. We go live every Sunday and every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 8 Pacific. And I'm not sure about Anita's time, but Anita knows her time more. So Anita, if you could tell them what time it is.
Mahalo, Hawaii. Thank you so much for joining us as well.
So, I definitely appreciate you guys joining in. Follow the Wave God. Follow my co-host Mia. They're definitely awesome people. And we stay busy. We stay coming up with new stuff. Stay working on, some new things. And sometimes we randomly just go live just to have laughter and whatnot. So, make sure follow these two amazing people because they're definitely somebody who keeps me going in my lifetime with everything that I got going on with what I do. And listen, those two people right there, Those are the ones that get you back on your track. So you definitely want to follow them and tap on them. Anita said 1:30 p.m. So it's 1:30 p.m. her time. What time zone is that?
I just know it's Australian time. I think they're about 6.5 hours ahead of us. They're always in the future. But a day later. So we're not even on Thursdays and Sundays with them. We're on Mondays.
So y'all living in the Jetsons. So Anita got the Jetsons going on over there. And for those of y'all who don't know the Jetsons, just type in the Jetsons and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a cartoon. It's an old school cartoon. But Anita living in that time. Jesus.
The future. Yep.
Yeah. So at first, I ain't gonna lie to me, I thought you were gonna say she was 6 hours behind us. Then I was gonna say she was in the Flintstones world. Yep. But she's ahead of us. She's in the Jetsons.
Yep. They are ahead of us. 2 different seasons and everything over there.
Man, yeah. Boy. I'll be looking at her time. She'd be like, I'm off to work. And I'll be looking at my clock like, it's about like 3 o'clock in the morning. What she means she off to work?
Totally different times. That's why I say she's about 6 hours ahead of us. The Wave Guide, did you have anything you wanted to wrap up with or anything you wanted to say before we end the live?
Yeah, one last thing is sports the Wave Guide. You already know what time it is. The link is in my bio. You can check out all my music. If the link isn't in my bio for certain apps that you may have, then you can pretty much just type me in and type a song that goes with me, and it'll point you to the right direction. Definitely check the music out. It's great music. I got a song review thing that I do. I do charge, but at the end of the day, you get more for what you paying. Because I make a lot of songs. I know how to make songs better, this, that, and the third. I can get you where you need to be with your song.
And I want to touch base on that, you guys. He's a lyricist, so I need you guys to know that, okay, there is a huge difference between a lyricist and a rapper. A lyricist, they'll say some things that have you be thinking, okay? So if y'all don't know, make sure y'all Google that, look up the difference between a rapper and a lyricist, and you'll see what I'm talking about. That song review thing, if you're into music, that's something that's going to be very, very helpful for you, especially coming from a lyricist. So make sure you definitely tap into that.
Maori, Anita says, Kia ora, me ora, wahine. Oh, you speak Hawaiian, Anita. Okay. Well, she understood that better than us. I just know aloha, mahalo, little phrases like that, but Anita apparently speaks Hawaiian. Is Hawaiian and Australia on the same time?
That's a good question. I don't even know. What is that? How do you say his name? Is it Thirst? I don't want to say his name wrong.
Thirst.
It's Thirst. But there's no S.
Hi, Brother GKL. We are just wrapping up, but thank you so much for coming in tonight and sending us those positive vibes. He was one of our guests. I think was episode 6. Jay, was it episode 6 that the brother GKL was on here with us?
Yes, he was on episode 6. Like I said, you guys can go to my website. You can check that one out. That one was a good episode. So make sure you go to my website to check out that with brother GKL, because conversation. Let me tell you, the conversation got so deep that Instagram had to pause it in the middle of it. So if you'll see it, Instagram had to freeze up the system because the conversation got so deep.
He was definitely going in. He was getting busy.
Brother GKL, it's all right if it's your
Brother
late night.
GKL definitely did his thing. Make sure y'all tap into that.
Oh yeah, I'm still grabbing that book too. Just wait on that. I got you.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You already know, Brother GKL. You already know I'm gonna get the recaps up and going. I'll be doing editing and getting it on YouTube as well. So I look forward to doing all that stuff. It's actually fun. I ain't gonna lie. It's time consuming, but it's definitely fun sitting back doing a recap of everything and how everything played out. This is why I also keep the space on my phone too.
We are gonna build, and today's Sunday, right? Yeah, today's Sunday.
Yes,
who's our next guest? We usually do a recap at the end, telling you who the next guest is. I don't have it up in front of me.
Thursday's guest is going to be Cash Carter. He's going to be on. He's going to be on this Thursday, Cash Carter. And he's also another musical artist, but he also has a lot of other like backstory to him, as far as, you know, a lot of colors and things like that. So when Thursday hits, you know, I look forward to speaking with him. First time to be talking to him as well. So I look forward to it. seeing him, but he is on Thursday. Right after that, Sunday, we have an expert fitness. So you guys, if you're into fitness, you don't want to miss Sunday's episode. If you are in the gym or you trying to find a way to diet differently, we're going to have an expert who's into fitness. He's going to be on the show, and we'll be asking him all types of questions on fitness and, you know, diets and things like that. So make sure y'all tap into that too.
Yep, Friday at 1 p.m. for Australian time. And yeah, Anita, just keep posting the times when you come in here. But guys, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight on the Black Table. Our host, Jay Simmons, co-host Mia Ayala, and our wonderful special guest tonight was the Wave God. I'm sure he will be back again soon. Please join us again on Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 Eastern, 1 p.m. Friday if you're in Australia. We have people even joining from the UK, and I do have time zone right now. But we're going to have to start adding those time zones to the flyers because we've got just too many people joining from different areas of the world that need to know this so that they can share it. So yeah,
that'll be fine. That'll be something I work on. Like I said, creating the Black Table was something that I did not expect to blow up so big. So I got to go back in there and do a lot of editing and things like that. I think what I might do is I might specifically make a flyer for the time zone.
Definitely appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us, the Wave God. We hope to have you again soon with some updates on your work and how things are coming along. So when you're ready to come back, you know what to do. Reach out to Jay or me, and Jay's your boy. So
yeah, I definitely will.
He's gonna mention you as long as you don't make him mad. You know. He said, "You remember back when we was 18 and you treated me bad."
He's over that now. Like we good now.
The backstory on that is the most. I'm trying to tell you, man. I just never expected for somebody for somebody to dislike you to turn around. We the most tightest friend. Like that man gonna be my best man in my wedding. So that's saying a lot. That's definitely saying a lot. So you wouldn't expect that somebody that want to put their hands on me back when I'm 18, and now I'm about to be 30, 31. I should be having my wedding, and he's gonna be my best man. So you wouldn't expect that. That's it. That's the situation.
But you know what? Those are the best friends you got. The people that you turn from enemies into friends are the ones that are usually going to be the truest to each other. So definitely salute
that. Is true.
Right.
That is true. That is true. But I do thank you guys for coming out tonight. And Mia, thank you for starting this. This was another cluster as far as on my end. So I do appreciate you starting the show and getting everything going. I'm glad that you're back healthy again, because I know in last episode I told everybody that you were out to medical reasons. So glad that you're back healthy again. And for those of y'all who don't know, she's back healthy. She was sick last time, so she wasn't on last episode. But she's back. So make sure y'all stay following my co-host. Follow the Wave God. Follow the poet brother GKL as well. That man has some knowledge that y'all need to tap into. We'll see y'all this coming Thursday with Cash Carter on the show. You already know what time it is.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night, and we'll see you Thursday. Peace.